Okay, welcome everyone as we continue our playtest on our virtual tabletop. As noted earlier, we're going to fall back to 2D because I want to sort out some other issues with 3D before I put that back into one of my games or any of my games. So there are just a few issues, but thank you for indulging me last week with that. We have a need to fix Focusrite audio. Missing audio. There we go. All right. That's working. Good. All right. So I've had a technical glitch on one of my computers today, and that set back a little bit of my prep time. But thank you again for showing up today. Appreciate it as we continue the adventures of these poor, sorry, sad people who've been caught in the middle of an invading reality, landing right in the middle of New York. And so all of you, coincidentally, were strangers before, pretty much. It was a father and son team, but the rest of you, and a brother and sister team. And the rest of you pretty much were kind of just strangers to each other, but now you have become united because while on a tour boat together, checking out the East River and the cityscape, etc., the world suddenly began to change, and quite literally in some cases, wild vegetation overgrowth began expanding madly as suddenly the sky darkened. A big column of darkness and vines and that sort of thing landed some miles away, but you could see it clearly about a half a mile wide, and it hit the ground and created a shockwave that even shook the boat you were on in the middle of the river, and actually knocked a couple people off into the river itself, where you then had to kind of rescue them. Some of you feeling the change in the air and the change in just how things seem to be. Also noticed a big change in one of the people that went overboard. Suddenly he reverted to some kind of primitive human. He physically changed, his appearance changed, clothes became rags, ripped and torn, and he was wild and kind of out of control, scared and so forth, and was fighting to stop. You guys finally got him calmed down, got him back up on the boat, and settled him down in the corner. But clearly he's spooked by all of this and doesn't understand things that are going on. You discovered also, after getting the other passenger back up in the boat okay, that the engineer has also gone the same route, gone a little native, and doesn't understand how the engine works anymore, but knows in his heart of hearts that these people that are on this boat with him somehow have caused the problem. And so he defended the engine as best he could for a little bit until Wade got the best of him and actually got the engine started, but not before there was some attacks from these literal dinosaurs, like pterodactyls, that flew in. But strangely enough, these pterodactyls have lizard man-like riders on them, dinosaur people as well. And they landed on the boat and started to attack everyone on the boat. You guys have fended them off, beat them back. The big pterodactyls flew off when their riders went down or fled. And so you had a moment just to catch your breath and try to figure out what the heck just happened, when all of a sudden from the Manhattan side of the river, you hear shouts out through kind of like one of those cones. "We're coming, hang on!" There have been a lot of other boats here and there that have already capsized. Some have already sunk. Some were starting to decay, and you noticed even your boat starting to rust and go kind of just sort of decay a little bit. And that seemed odd to you. Zanu, understood and sort of inherently that this boat was a dead thing, and dead things don't. This is a land of the living, and only living things thrive here. Dead things eventually fade away to nothing. So you basically gathered together, and after, of course, you before the lizard men attacked, you found makeshift weapons and various things that you could use on the boat, and that's how he helped you fight those guys off. And now this boat of rescuers, these Coast Guard men, are coming. They're armed with like M16s, right, or M4As, and they have these automatic rifles. They're dressed up like Coast Guardmen, and they're on a pontoon boat coming to rescue you. And as they get close enough, suddenly the river swells, and a giant, megalodon, like a big shark out of Jurassic Park, comes up out of the river and takes half a bite right out of the boat and sends some of these guys into the water. Others are hanging onto the boat. They're scrambling to get their rifles at a place where they can shoot them, and they don't seem to be working. The rifles just don't seem to fire any bullets. And then the Megalodon comes back with one more swipe, like a horrible scene out of Jaws, and just wipes out the rest of these Coast Guardmen. And then there's a scream on the boat from little Amber, and the Megalodon's eye turns to the boat, and it begins to turn and move towards you. So that is where we begin our story tonight, with Act 1, Scene 3, Death from Below. So again, back to our 2D map. We are quite simply just going to get back to this. So all these guys in this boat are actually all wiped out. There's pieces of the boat still kind of floating, because it is kind of a pontoon boat, but all of the men are gone. So I'm going to start off right now by just getting rid of those guys, and not our Megalodon. Let's back up, put him back on there. Let's move them over here. All right, so we're going to get rid of these guys, and so you've got this big shark thing who's getting ready to turn and come toward the boat. So let's go over. Yes, Jerry?
Am I the only one only seeing a map of the world?
No, I'm the same. This scene has.
There we go.
There we go.
There we are.
Push the button to bring you on the map. Okay.
Now.
So the boat you see up at the top right is a rowboat. It's the only icon that I had handy. So there's a rowboat there, but it's really a pontoon boat, like a rescue boat. And they were paddling with it because the motor wasn't working. And so they're just coming over to it. It's like a little Coast Guard boat that they might lower into the water from the bigger ship so they could go over and get people off of another ship. But that's all there is here is this boat. And they're headed over there. All right, so you guys can see where you are on the decks. You have the upper deck. There are 3 of you up there. And so we've got Father Alejandro, Zanu, and Wade up on the top deck. And then we've got Officer Reyes, Doc, and the Professor on the lower deck. So let's start first with the people on the upper deck, because I think that's a short list. I don't think. So that's the other player. We are missing one other player. I knew it still looked like we had a short list of players. So the player for Father Alejandro is missing right now. So he just barely climbed up there as the dinosaurs flew off. So he's looking back at what's going on with horror, that all these men have just died. A horrible death. One guy's missing his entire left side, so he's all right now. all right. That was a dad joke. Sorry. All right. Then this will be. Let's go right into a combat, and we will begin this combat. I think I don't have all of you in here, so let's go ahead and switch. Okay, and then this guy. All right, so this round is the pace quickens. We're in a dramatic round, so we're going to follow the second line where it says dramatic. Heroes go first, but the villains will flurry. All right, so Zanu, I think he would, now feeling a little bit more empowered, because I believe he just became a Storm Knight last session, he will tell Wade to to see if he can get this machine, this dead thing, moving again. and he will begin to move over to the edge of the rail to prepare to kind of keep an eye on what's going to go on with the Mosasaurus and defending the ship.
Okay. So I think are we doing it kind of like we discussed in the chat with the meta discussion?
We are going to do a yes, exactly. No, that's exactly right. And we're also going to have a dramatic skill resolution now. And so let's see. Okay, so I'm going to put it at...
If I'm not mistaken, it still shows pretty much everyone is red in the combat tracker.
Yeah, it does. So these tokens by default in this module, or in the system module, always has the default as hostile. So let me switch over, and yet the module uses friendly and hostile as choosing sides. Let's double check. Wade, give me a second to go around this. Why don't you guys start talking about what you want to do this round and how you might want to do it? So you'll have no cards down just yet.
Okay. Well, I think I'm obviously going to follow my father's wishes, and I will run to the cabin and try to see if the pilot, the captain, actually can pilot this, and if not,
bad shape.
Yeah. So I don't really know that right now, but I'll still be taking that action. That's what I expect to be doing my round.
Okay.
I still have 3 bullets. Not much other than that.
Yeah, so you can start shooting the Mosasaurus.
But is that really a good idea is the real question.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably shooting it's just gonna make it mad.
Because like that thing probably has like pretty thick hide, you know?
Yeah, and you'll bring attention to our boat as opposed to the nice, tasty pontoon.
I mean, the little lady's scream already brought attention to our boat, but shooting would just bring even more attention, though.
Yep, that's true.
And I don't know, what an axe is going to do against it. Because that's all I've got, and I'm not a super great axe-swinger.
Yeah, in reality, probably none of us are really going to be that heroic against, such a monstrous prehistoric beast.
Objective,
so
survive.
Yeah, I think if there's anything we could do as a group just to maneuver this boat onto shore, I think that's going to be our objective, and far away from this beast.
Yeah,
Because fish
how?
cannot walk.
Most fish cannot walk.
Yeah, evolution. This fish cannot walk, hopefully.
This one cannot. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, if unless anybody's gonna try to provide some help to the pontoon or throw it some supplies or do something to kind of facilitate its very low, seemingly low probability of survival to elevate that a little bit. I can't think of anything though right now, other than I know it's not the heroic thing to do.
I could try to get the captain.
Given the situation and really not being used to this. Yeah, right. Good idea.
I could probably just try to get the captain on her feet, because she's the one who knows best how to pilot ships.
Yep. Professor, what's Professor's plan?
Try not to get eaten. I mean, it's really not a whole lot that can be done that I can think of at the moment. I mean,
okay, I think you can reserve an action actually.
I'll admit this giant dinosaur from Jurassic Park is a little bit out of my normal threat range.
yeah.
All right.
Now, meta-wise, I've got cards. I've got a couple of cards that probably will be helpful. I've got a drama card, I've got an idea card, and I've got a transfer. So,
however, they're not yet in your pool.
Right, they're not in my pool, right. So I can't do anything yet. But my four are willpower, transfer, idea, and drama.
Well, drama is always good. Willpower is always good. What's the other one?
Transfer and idea.
Oh, idea might be the best.
And a clue or insight indicating the next course of action.
Yeah.
Or
so maybe
make the approved action of the drama deck any. So.
Yep. Well, I'm going to load up my second. I have a second chance card that I'm going to load as soon as possible after I take my action.
I also have a second chance card.
Yeah, those are always.
I also have a flurry card.
Yeah, those are all good. Whatever you want. Okay.
I feel like the second chance would be best for trying to get the captain on her feet, though.
Yeah. Well, because my character's father asked me to also go to the cabin, what I can do, Doc, is assist you as well, so that we get a bonus when we try to persuade or resuscitate the captain from her current state. Yeah, enough where she could pilot it.
Right now, she's probably unconscious from blood loss.
Yeah. Actually, does anybody who has first aid?
Yeah, I have a little bit in it. It's not my best, but I do at least have some training. Being a cop in New York City and all that.
Yep, mine totally sucks, so I would not be able to do it. I'd probably ruin it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'll just be there. I won't even assist because I'm so bad at it. but I'll definitely be in the area. Okay, so I think we should. I think for those of you who don't know what to do, you can. There's also the option that if you spend a round aiming, just in case, when you aim, you actually get a +4 to your attack when you finally release it.
And you cannot aim as part of a multi-action. So you have to actually just spend your whole single action, not moving, not doing anything else, just aiming, and then you get a bead on it.
And yeah, from a metagaming perspective, I've seen many times where people aim and then they use cards or whatever and take down massive monstrosities. Yeah, and it's all within the realm of possibility. But the more you start planning your perks, your cards, everything like that up front, it really is possible within a couple rounds that the beast could be taken out. I think our characters probably wouldn't feel so enabled at this point or so powerful, being so new. So it might be a little out of character, but still, I mean, if you're going to spend the round not knowing what to do, my recommendation would just be to set up an aim. Yeah, so that if the beast does come to us in the next round, at least we're prepared to get off a few shots that really could even hit a critical area. And that's another thing too, is
you can do a called shot.
You can do a called shot, and then the called shot's negative modifiers are based on the size of what you're trying to hit. And because this is a large beast, you might be able to hit a really critical area. Like I don't know how large its eyes are, but if its eyes are larger than, say a human torso, you would still be able. You would still take a minus penalty, but then even add more. So you get an aim of +4. Then you probably get you get a lot more damage on top of that for a called shot. If it's a really critical area, I think it's another. I don't recall off the top of my head. I have to look at the player screen. Called shot. Where's the called shot? Actions. Yeah, so it's on the right side of the player screen, and you can, if it's a vital area, you get an additional +4. So think about that. If you aim this round and the next round you shoot at a vital area, you can get a combined +8, and you get a +4 to the attack, and then a +4 to the damage if it's called shot. And depending on the size, like for example, if you try to hit its eye. So Jim, how large is the Mosasaurus's eye or anything?
So they're like basically a little bit bigger than a soccer ball. So -4 for the size of the soccer ball.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it would probably be worth it for those of you with guns. Yeah, to set up something like that. It's just a suggestion.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's as best as I got. Unless I could get one of those M4s, but don't know if it's going to work.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
You can see M4s. There's like in the wreckage of the boat. There are some still there. The soldiers that were carrying them are not there anymore. But you could recover an M4. So that would also be a game changer, because when you're using burst fire, that gives you bonuses as well.
Hey, Professor, do you have any skill in first aid?
I mean, just the basic. I mean, but his mind is an 11, so I don't have any pluses or anything next to it, and I don't have any.
Yeah, so there are some skills that you can't use unless you're skilled, and I'm just gonna find a skill list. It's
like it's actually pretty intuitive. You usually think, like, in reality, would you be able to do this on skill? Would you be able to like fly a plane. No, you cannot, right?
Right.
But something like first aid, you probably can. You have a first aid box. You even if you've never done it before, you could probably do something. The negative thing of using something unskilled is that you just don't roll again on 20s.
20s. You only roll on 10s.
Yeah. So if your total is still 11, that's much better than me. It's mine is 6, and it's still worth trying. And it's still definitely, and even if you don't want to try yourself, what you can do is you do a combined action. Sorry, not you do a supportive action to somebody else, like Doc. So and then he would get the bonus to the roll.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, okay, big sharky thing and an axe. No, I'm just not. Yeah. If it's the tree, I know how to use the axe on the tree.
Right.
It's a plant thingy. Axe on a megalodon? No, that's kind of...
This thing's probably moving faster than a train has the bite force of a wrecking ball, so no.
Yeah. Yeah, the odds of him being able to do much against the giant ancient shark is pretty small.
Okay, then let's execute.
Okay. So this is the pace quickens. Heroes are first. Villains have a flurry. The approved actions are any multi-action. So when you do a multi-action, don't forget, you declare all the actions that you're going to take. You can do as many as you want, but each action is a -2 penalty that stacks on all the actions together.
All right, so Jim, you have to help us out here with the. We are in a dramatic skill resolution, right? So.
Yeah.
I think that
up at the top right, we have A, B, C, and D. And I think our steps for dramatic skill resolution, if we're trying to get the boat over to the shore, then first off, I think the first step would be try to figure out what broke on the engine and fix it. So that would be A. B is get the boat started. So do like what you did last time. And C is to navigate the wreckage to the shore, and D is get it ashore, or get it to a dock, or actually.
And resuscitating the captain might just be a B.5.
Sure. Or Wade has some water vehicles. So
do I?
I believe you used that last time as your skill to try to do your repair last time.
Yep.
Okay. I can't imagine that I did, because it's also pretty bad. I think I thought I used.
You used your mind with it, right?
No, my mind is the worst.
Yeah.
My mind is.
And that made it pretty bad. I remember that, because it was your dex is high, so actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually not skilled in water vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not. I'd probably use a possibility then.
I don't have a skill point in it. I don't have a skill point in it, but I do have very good dex, so there's that.
So a water vehicles, I don't think they're that complicated, and you don't have to read the manual first. You pretty much do this, do that. Now this is a bigger one, so if it's a little more complex, that might be harder to do. So you could try to wake up, use smelling salts or something on the captain, and try to get her to a place where she can at least tell you what to do to move the boat. how to start it or various things like that. But this boats are not super complex.
Right.
And it's mostly just how does it behave when I turn it this way or turn it, how do I, like trying to get into a sloop. Our slip is probably different than a car getting into a parking space. So along those lines.
It is, because there's no brakes.
Right. You have to reverse some engines, and if you do that, it changes the direction of the boat too, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. So
at least it's more like a car than it is like an airplane.
So with dramatic skill resolution, whoever is going to be performing that can do only the steps that show on the current card. And so you can try to do all the steps that are available to you in the order wherever you're at. So we're at the beginning. So you literally could do a multi-action of 4 steps and actually take care of this the whole way. Like you could get it started, punch it, and get it to where you need to be, right? In one roll, but that would be at -8 to each attempt, right? Anything else you do that's a multi-action will let you draw a card into your hand. And there we go. I think you've got some things. Father Alejandro.
Now, more important, the last thing is how many rounds do we have? Yeah, because there's always a time limit on a dramatic skill resolution.
5 rounds.
5 rounds, yeah. So I would recommend that we try to do, now that we have an up, plus we have the multi-action as an improved action, I'd recommend that we at least try to do...
It's dramatic, so you don't have...
Oh, sorry, right. Oh, yeah. Sorry, missed that. All right.
This slide goes twice.
Then I would still recommend that we try to combine steps A and B together as a multi-action. And then, you know what? Then in that case, I'll do that. Yeah. So while you try to wake up the captain, which may help with step C, then I think my character Wade will go run back to the engine and try. Yeah, unless somebody else.
All right. So I think Father Alejandro will climb back down. He just got done climbing up and realize he probably ought to go down and try to work on getting the captain going. So he's going to move in here. All right. So that's what he's going to do and start trying to get her to wake up. Anyone who wants to help with that's welcome to. Wade, you're going to run down to the engine room?
Yep.
All right. So lucky for you, Finn is still not in his, he's still kind of out of it. So, because I think you guys knocked him unconscious or did something to call, you backed him down. And so he's still just kind of mumbling, trying to figure out what you did to make things work. And it's not working again. And so he's just kind of befuddled at this point. So he's not really going to be in your way.
All right. So I'll go ahead and try a roll. And so to do both
vehicles with your mind, that's going to be a lousy roll for you. But to try to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of helping with if Father's going in there and Doc goes in there to work on the captain, I'll go help with the engineering.
Okay, you know what? If you do that, what is your mind? What is your mind rated at?
11. Yes.
So I think that I can try to support you, give you the +1, and then you do it.
Okay.
That makes the most sense. And then, as mentioned, I think we should try the multi-target, so that we go for steps A and B at the same time, find out what's wrong, fix it, then we get a -2 penalty.
Okay.
And then with my support, you get a +1. So then it's just a total of -1, and then you could spend a possibility if it doesn't make it.
Yeah. All right, works for me.
All right, yeah, then go ahead and do that now.
Okay. What am I rolling against? Just mind?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Because if you don't have any ads in
Water vehicles.
water vehicles, then yes.
Okay, how do I do that? There it goes. Never mind. All right, so
You can actually choose water vehicles and switch it to mind, and then roll that. That's what Wade did. So you can change it back, Wade, to Dex, unless you're going to do a mind-based skill check on that again.
Yeah, you can just click on water vehicles,
Yeah.
and then it will open up the skill test.
Mhm.
Then Jim, you have to say what the difficulty number is.
Mhm.
Remember, he's going to try to do 2, and then basically the final modifier will be a -1. Yeah, so we can either do that. You can either put that in as a -1 under other modifiers, or you could put in the multi-action penalty that you see the selection, and then you can add +1 for my support, but you'd have to do that as well manually. So I recommend you just go into the other modifiers area, and then in the effect you just put in +1. I mean -1, sorry, and then roll.
okay. And
But what's the difficulty number,
Just a 10.
Jim?
Yep.
Just a 10. Okay.
10?
Yeah.
Okay, so difficulty 10. Nothing. Multi-target. No. Penalty -1. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, so with a mishap, that is going to be that a bunch of liquid starts draining out the bottom of the. You're not really sure what that liquid is, but it starts draining out the bottom of your thing. So,
Oops.
yeah.
Does he have to? And does he have to do a reality check now?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you do. Thank you, because you are trying to do something that's above the axiom of the world. But no, actually, there's no reality check. You just disconnect. That's your mishap. Instead of liquid draining out, that may be liquid draining out the bottom. It could be just seawater or something. But you disconnect. So let me describe to you, kind of in the narrative, what that means for you. It's kind of like a yard hose, right? That you're watering the garden, and all of a sudden you pull a little too hard, so it's kind of stuck, and you pull a little bit, and the hose kinks, and there's no water coming out the hose anymore.
Uh-huh.
And so you have to kind of go figure out where the kink is and kind of undo it. You're flipping the hose around. So what's happened now is you've lost all connection to your your reality skill has no service. and you're trying to get it to reconnect.
Somebody's disconnected my internet.
Exactly. So you have no service, basically. So you can't, while you're disconnected, you cannot spend any possibilities, and you cannot do anything that has to do with exceeding one of your axioms. Now, every round, you will automatically try to reconnect at the beginning of the round, and that is just a reality skill check with a difficulty based on the current axioms that you're under. So in this case, you are in a dominant zone, and that's pretty rough. So a dominant zone is a -4 to reconnect.
It's not looking good for
Okay.
the home team.
So you're going to have to, and that's a free action. So at the beginning of your next turn, you're going to try to reconnect. But for right now, you can't do anything that requires exceeding an axiom of the living land. So you can look up at the scene at the top and see the living land has magic 1, social 7, spirit 24, tech 6. So you can't really do anything on your character sheet that's a tech rating higher than that. Social 7 just means it's kind of pretty tribal at this point. So you kind of have this, you can't really do anything more social than that. So intimidate would be ooga ooga, right? That, kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
all right. So that's kind of where you're at, Mr. Disconnected. So,
Okay. Do I play a card or do I
you may
not?
put a card down. Yes. Oh, wait. When you're disconnected, you get to play cards? That is a really good question.
Actually, yeah, we discussed this in the chat based on the fact that we had cards before the moment of crisis.
No, but I mean, can you play cards? Like, I know you have cards.
And I put it in my
and
pool.
You put them in the pool. Yeah. So let me see. Disconnected. Not speedy in the search.
Get Andrew.
All right, so disconnection faster in the Foundry. So a disconnected character may still act and use destiny cards, but they may not spend possibility tokens, so no adding dice to rolls or soaking damage. You may not create a contradiction. That's ultimately what it is. You just can't create a contradiction, which is exceeding any of the axioms, whatever the lowest axioms are. Whether it's your axiom that's low or the Cosm's axiom that's low, you can't create a contradiction.
And the reconnect is going to be a full action. So if is it a free action per round or
free action at the beginning of the round?
Yep. All right.
And so you can roll a reality skill test again. It says here, I think that's right. It says here that this kind of character's turn, the player rolls a reality skill test against DN 14. If the test succeeds, the Storm Knight immediately reconnects. Equipment
I'm
becomes
host.
normal, etc. Oh,
No,
by the
you're
way,
fine. You'll be fine.
also, your clothes begin to kind of alter back and forth a little bit, fade in and out into older raggy clothes, torn, etc. Okay, so the things you carry are they're gone, or they're replaced by something that is of the right axiom level, but you're just disconnected, so it's kind of fluxing back and forth again.
Okay. The idea card be the best one to play? Put in my pool?
At this point, probably not. Because we kind of already know what to do. I would recommend that you put in something like drama card, the drama card, because you'll definitely want to be set up to roll possibilities and be able to re-roll and add, to get better rolls.
Yeah. Okay. Drama card.
Yeah.
It's in the pool. Okay.
I'm also, as I was part of that action as well, even though I didn't roll, I'm going to throw my second chance into the pool as planned.
Okay. All right. So, Doc, what are you going to do? And then Isabel. Or what order did you choose?
Do you want to go first, Doc, or should I go?
I guess I'll go. In which case, I'm going to go into the cabin and try my best to do something. Alright, so I'm going to try to roll first aid, correct?
Yes.
Should I target the captain when I do that?
I don't know if it requires targeting. I think you're fine. We're just trying to get a result.
Yeah, you don't. It's a. I think the difficulty depends on the number of wounds. Jim, how many wounds does the captain have?
She has 2 wounds.
So is that like a -2 modifier?
So it says here, DN10 plus the patient's current wound penalty. So it's -4. So it's a DN of 14.
Okay. Come on, pal. Gotta get lucky. It's not too lucky, but it's still pretty good.
That happens to be come to a 14. So that is a standard success. So on a standard success, you remove 1 wound and the KO condition.
Okay,
So
so the captain is awake.
Wake her up. Yeah, you did it.
Hello, Captain. Mission accomplished. Now I'm just gonna try to slowly set her against the wall
Okay. Yep.
in
help
like
prop
as
up.
comfortable a position as is possible.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Then, yeah, Father Alejandro is there. He doesn't have a lot he can do just yet. He just feels like there's going to be some trouble coming with that big thing. So he's trying to figure out a way to maybe get ready for that. So he's got nothing right now. So you've done your thing. He's done his thing. Reyes, what are you gonna do?
Okay. Well, if he's got the doc has the first aid covered, then Reyes, she's going to try to grab the M4.
Okay, so that you're gonna have to hit the water for that.
Awesome.
So do you want to dive in and try to get that M4 before that big thing turns back around and comes toward the boat?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Don't get eaten now.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to want you to do a skill check. And I think that we're going to be looking at a strength. It's like a strength test. I don't see anything in particular that would help with that. So I want you to do a strength test as kind of your athletics to dive in and get swimming over to that boat. It's not far away, but also the Mosasaurus is not far away, and that might draw its attention as well. Now there's another piece of food in the water.
Right.
All right, so let's see how fast you can get over to the boat.
Okay. All right, so what's the DN that I should put up?
Standard. So
Okay.
TN, just a 10 DN. All right, so that would be a failure unless you do something about that.
Well,
A failure in this case is not a mishap,
right.
but it just means that you're not going to make it to the boat in one shot. You'll have to take your next action to get to the boat.
Nah, you know what? I'll take it, because I don't really have any good cards, and I only get 4
Oh wait, I
cards,
can put a
right?
card in my pool and just do that.
Yeah, because I only get 4 cards, right, in my pool.
You have 4 now, but you can draw as many cards as you can draw, right? And you draw cards when you do an approved action.
Okay, how many cards can I draw?
Oh, one every round you do an approved action. So,
Okay,
but you don't have a hand limit, is what I'm trying to say.
I see. Okay.
At least until
I'm s-
combat ends.
Sometimes you can, if there's 2 approved actions and you do a multi-action in a round with penalties, and they're both listed.
Yeah.
You can get two cards.
I see. All right. Okay. Well,
the card you have to succeed, right?
Yeah, you have to succeed.
I have to succeed. Okay.
Can't have a mishap.
All right, cool. Then I'll just throw this card out that I shouldn't have drawn, or something. Okay, I'll just discard it. Okay. Discarded. Okay. Yep. Nope. I fail and I'm done. Sorry.
Okay, so I think Zanu is going to try to. It seems like something he might do is just prepare to maybe distract. Maybe he's going to try to distract the big shark. So he might try to throw something out of the water, right? And throw something out away from the boat, like maybe more seat cushions or something. So that seems like something he might do. So he's going to do that. And he's going to try to throw more than one to get them out there so that he can get a multi-action. So we'll just do 2 of those. Let me just see if I can roll anything decent out of that. We'll just use like an unarmed combat. We're going to do 2. 1 action, 2 actions. So that would be good for that. Standard 10. Oh. Okay. So that's not going to work, and I don't think it's worth spending a possibility. Oh, he doesn't have any, so it doesn't matter. He's good. So we'll put a card out for him so that it can be used by everyone. How about a hero card? All right. All right, so everyone should have 1 card out in their pool. So Reyes, you can put a card down in your pool or check the box. Basically, that's putting a card on the table, then it makes it playable when we're in a round. All right.
All right. Sure, I will click a card to be playable.
There you go. All right, so the Mosasaurus now is swimming around. It doesn't, like the seat cushions don't go very far. They kind of just plop in the water. It wasn't helpful. So this very large creature turns and decides that it's going to bump the boat. So it swims over and smacks the boat. And so I want everyone to make a dex test. Unless you have a skill that you think will help you stay, like keep your feet as the whole boat rocks.
So like maneuver, I think, would be such a skill.
Will it be just a standard 10 DC?
So then what I'll do, I'll tell you what, that's a good point. I think what we'll do is a maneuver against you. And let's see if that maneuver can put you, and if he gets a stymied, then that's going to take you off your balance. I think that's fair enough.
So any penalties, any difference in the DN?
No, you won't have to roll anything just yet. You're defending with your maneuver. So I'll tell you, we'll look at the result I get and you compare it for yourself. So this mosasaur is going to do really well hitting the boat. So its total is 17. So if your maneuver is lower than 17, then you are going to be affected by him hitting the boat. If you are 5 points lower than 17, if your maneuver is 12 or less, then that will be a good success against you. And that will mean that you are knocked prone. And so you are very stymied by that, or very vulnerable. No, I think very. So let's do this. You are vulnerable and stymied if you're more than 5. Okay, and if you're.
What if you're more than 10?
If you're more than 10, then you get knocked into the water.
And are most likely dead.
Well, you might be. That was the point of him hitting was knocking you into the water so that he could.
So just a roll.
Who's more than 10?
17.
Oh, what is it you're doing? What are you rolling for?
Oh, I just rolled maneuver.
Oh, no. It just goes against your maneuver. The time that you can do. So here's what you can do. If you think that the bad guy is going to be able to take a shot at you and you don't want him to, you can kind of abort your action and do what's called an active defense. That's where you use your action to do an active defense. And then you roll on your whatever defense you're going to do, and you roll, and that gives you a minimum of +1 to that skill. You get to choose that, and then that goes in your behavior. So that makes your defense better, right? Otherwise, they're just rolling against whatever you're defending with. So when the lizard men were using their spears against you, they were actually going against your melee weapons defense, which whatever that's rated at, right? Or unarmed defense. And when you're shooting at someone, it goes against their dodge or their dexterity. So those are static numbers unless you do an active defense, and then you can raise that number by that amount. Does that make sense?
In that case, I have an 8 in my maneuver. That's my bonus for that.
Okay, so that's only still a good success that it had. So you're just stymied and vulnerable. If you go in the water, you are vulnerable, very vulnerable, and in the water.
At least I'm in the cabin.
So you flopped into the water? Is that what happened, Wade? You took a dip in the drink?
No. My maneuver is actually pretty good. So I have a 13.
All right.
So I only became vulnerable.
Right. All right. Good.
And watch the professor go into the water.
Oh, the professor went in the water.
Yes, the professor only has a 7 maneuver.
Okay, so you're off the back of the boat in the water.
Yeah.
No, that's bad.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Professor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, so now the
Gone but never
mosasaur,
forgotten.
now that it's got one little shrimp fall into the water, it's time to dip it in cocktail sauce and see where this will go. So the mosasaur is going to swim towards you, and it has a bite that it's going to try to just see if it can bite you, Professor. So let me target you. It's going to go, it has...
Hey, Professor, want to trade cards? I have a second chance card.
That probably would help me out a lot.
All right, so that was its move to go bump. I forgot to move him for that.
Can I give the good Professor a second chance card for his card?
If it's out on the table, you can trade him.
Yeah, it's in my pool. Professor, what's in your pool?
Drama.
Okay, but before you go that far, you can do that and keep him from falling in the water. Or this is as far as the mosasaur got swimming. So it only has a move of 10. So it's trying to get him. You can see it's coming towards you. It saw you splash in the water, and it's coming. It's coming.
But the second chance card only helps you when you're taking an action. So this was kind of like a passive result. So
right. No, that's right. Yep.
But it will help you when you try to get back up on the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could do an active defense when the mosasaurus tries to bite off your toes.
I think it's going to be going for more than just my toes.
All right. And that will bring our round to an end. We good? Here we go. For this round, we have over the top So villains go first. So the mosasaur, who's been really pushing to get to you, is going to be fatigued. So we're going to give him 2 shock right now. And he's going to go first, but no other special actions over the hero. A and D are the are the dramatic skill steps, and the approved actions are intimidate and taunt. So Wade, why don't you lead the meta?
All right, so basically this is the tricky situation because we burned 1 round. We've got 4 left to get this onto shore before, presumably, the whole boat is eaten or destroyed. So somebody's really got to work on this engine, really.
Yeah, gonna have to be you.
It does not have to be me because my mind sucks. So I think that somebody else who has a better mind,
I
would assume. Yeah, so I would say you've succeeded in waking up the captain. I would run out, get down to the engine, and then execute step A, which is to figure out what broke. Meanwhile, I will then try to pull in Darnell. Yeah, the professor.
Okay, Zanu.
Sounds about right.
2, what do you want him to do? And Father Reyes.
Yep, Father Reyes. What can Father Reyes do? Father Reyes could come and support me. Yeah, I think maybe at this point as well, Isabel may want to didn't Isabel has the M4. Maybe she could deploy that.
Well, she doesn't have it yet. She has to actually swim. She's in the water.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, then I think
Luckily, my falling in distracted the mosasaur from her diving.
It swam right past you to.
Yeah, it's like really.
It's more interested in the panicked professor than the determined cop. I guess an easier target.
Okay, the priest can cast bless or something, right?
You sure can.
Yeah, so I think the priest should come down as well to the engine and cast bless.
Okay.
And meanwhile, when the priest casts bless, Wade should be in the area of effect. Darnell, professor's in the area of effect. Doc will be in the area of effect. So we should all be able to benefit from that. And then the priest should do that first, obviously.
Okay, Zanu can try to taunt and distract the mosasaur. He can try to throw things at it or whatever and try to taunt it.
Yep, that's a good point. Okay, then I think the first 2 that have to go would be the ones that you're running now. So the priest and Zanu. And then after that, Doc, you should try to step A on the engine, and then I will with the support. I will try to get Darnell out.
I'll try to do step A and B.
Yeah. You can't do B because B's not listed. So you can only do A now, and we have to kind of pray that the cards come into it, because you see the card that's over the top, it only lists step A and D. So you can only do A now.
All right.
And it looks like the good father is disconnected from God.
Right.
Well,
so he's only
still
gonna
gotta try.
Total of 5. He adds 3 to it. That still makes it.
It's not a disconnect because it's not a 1.
No,
Yeah.
no, I did. I didn't
it's not a
mean
misstep,
disconnected
but-
from his reality. Just
So
Yeah,
you're on hold.
yeah.
So he's praying. He's like, rosaries. Forgot the rosaries. Okay, so he didn't do very well with that. Zanu's going to try to do the intimidate. Intimidation.
Okay, so it seems I actually have 10 mind.
Better than mine.
That's fair. What's the... Oh, right. I almost forgot. The good professor's in the water.
Yep.
Yes.
Not going to be able to help.
And the last time he tried to think about that, it didn't work so good.
All right, so I think we can roll this intimidate. Target intimidate or spirit. That is an 8. Needed a 13. Didn't happen. Zanu has hero card. I don't think that's going to necessarily help. I think he's going to hold off on that. So we'll play another card. We have a drama card to put out. Put that. Father Reyes has to play a card. All right, go ahead and move on with what you're going to do.
Okay. So I would recommend Doc, go ahead.
So just water vehicles with my mind?
Yes.
That's right.
The dice are not very
Yeah, not too.
That's a standard success. So
There you go.
you actually succeeded in step A.
So what's wrong?
There is a it was a vacuum seal. There was something that was loose, and you just tightened it and went, oh, that must be it, right? And it was probably that it was Finn that loosened it, trying to mess around with, just trying to figure out how it got working and then how it stopped. He may have also been responsible for stopping it.
So now I might be able to go back to the cabin and see if I can get the boat started. Right? Well, when B shows up. When B shows up.
Correct. Yep.
All right. I'll just stay here for now then. That's the end of my turn.
All right. So Wade and the professor and.
So I would recommend Professor try. Okay, so what's your strength, Professor?
Yeah. I think it's like an.
Okay.
No, strength is 7.
All right. Then in that case, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attempt to use just my strength to pull you in. And then, Jim, you got to make a call whether he can support me and give me a +1.
I think it's cooperative. That makes sense.
All right. Then let's try that. So I'm going to use my strength to pull him in. And what's the... is there any difficulty number here?
Standard difficulty.
Okay. Then I'll take the +1.
I think the only thing you have is the stress of a big shark coming towards you.
Yep. All right. So here we go. That's not good, but I can definitely spend a possibility, which I will do.
Also, there's a couple of cards out that might help you if you have any to trade.
Yeah, I mean, I can also use my second chance, and actually, I will try that first, and then I could try a possibility. Yeah, if that one doesn't work, so I will definitely do that. Hold on, let me play this one out.
All right. So reattempt
Okay.
action, accept the results.
Yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna roll it again. +1 modifier for the support.
Ooh, that was a good second chance.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
All right, with a good success, you pull him right up out of the water.
Nice.
Okay. Now, Professor, you have to do a reality check to reconnect.
So just roll your reality skill, and it'll be at -4. It's at DN. I don't believe that. I'm going to go look again. I do not remember it being at DN 14. Disconnected. Reconnect.
Still we in the dominant zone?
It is dominant, which is a tough
Yeah,
zone to be.
it's a -4.
Okay,
I
so
remembered that part. What I was trying to get was
instead of standard, I'm gonna choose hard. Just go to 14. Is that the same or?
I would say that makes sense. That's easy to do.
I mean, that's -4 to my roll, +4 to the difficulty. Same thing. Okay. And so I don't have anything else that I can add to that because I don't have anything else I can add to that.
Yeah, that must be why the rules said DN 14, because it's a dominant zone. Or it must have been referring to a dominant zone, because it doesn't say anything about a specific. It just is reconnect is the use of the reality skill and is modified by the type of zone the character is in when she attempts to reconnect.
Okay.
That's why it's DN 14.
But what you can do, Jerry, is you can definitely play your drama card and use it as a possible. Even though you can't spend possibilities right now, as we determined before, you can play your cards, and the card will act like a possibility.
Wards are the ones who can't play cards that are possibility cards. That was our discussion. Was what happens when you transform, or
Right.
what can you do? I don't.
You can play cards, but you can't spend possibilities. But you can play cards that act like possibilities.
And you can't create contradictions.
Yeah.
Like drama.
Right.
Right, but you can do a drama card and go ahead and add. So roll again and add. You can just hit the drama button.
Okay, so I had played the drama card. I couldn't remember what I played in my pool.
Yeah, it's there.
Yes, I had.
It's
Yes,
in the
okay.
combat tracker.
Yeah,
it shows your pool drama.
Yeah, I'm trying to jump around all over the place.
Yeah, no worries.
So.
All right, so that adds 12.
Success.
And makes it
So
a
that is
standard
standard
success.
success.
Just barely.
So, what was it? Reconnecting. All right, so now you're reconnected. That's your free action.
Yep.
Okay.
But his regular action was already consumed because he supported me, and when I
Right.
pulled him up and gave me the +1.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So now the next is Susanna. So I think Isabel didn't go yet.
Okay, Reyes.
I'm just going to keep swimming.
Keep swimming.
Yep, that's kind of what I thought of.
Okay, so now I get to draw a card, right? Because I succeeded, or no?
You get
I
the
was
draw
reconnect-
card if you did an intimidate or a taunt successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But you may
That's
play
the
a
only-
card down in your pool, so you may check another
Yeah.
box, and it will put
I did that.
card. Very good.
Yeah, I did that.
All right. Another failure. Okay, you're going to take 2 shock,
All right.
and you make it to the boat. So your 2 shock is represented by with the churning water, and the fact that thing swam by you really fast and kind of sucked you under with its with its own current. So you get caught, and you make it there. So now for your action, what?
Oh, I do have this endurance, which gives me an extra 2 shock. So should I have 12 shock or 10 shock?
On your character sheet, what's the endurance? Is just a
perk.
trait?
Yeah, it's a perk. It says that
So
my shock level.
I'm sure that figures in because your shock level is your toughness,
Right.
and so that's an 8, and so you have 10.
Okay,
shock.
there we go. That'll be 10. Cool.
Okay, cool. All right, so now I want you to see what you can find in the wreckage. pretty sure there's a rifle over here. So what I want you to do is make a find check.
All right. Okay, standard DN.
And you do a find test. Yep, standard.
Okay, let's see what I get.
Ooh. Okay, so that's a 12. Your find's not so great for a cop. What's up with that?
Well, that's what the build. That's what the build was. I guess that's
Okay.
whoever built it.
So you find with a standard success.
Although to be fair, I think I'm like a street cop / mounted cop. I'm not really a detective. Yeah.
Does most of the receiving. I get it. All right. So you find one M4 rifle in the wreckage.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll check the mag. Check the selector and everything.
It has not fired a single round. So the good news is that you have all of it available to you. So I just added it to your sheet. It's got 30 rounds. If you hit the edit button on your sheet, it'll give you a bigger description and all that stuff, and including a link to long burst, so you can look up the rule for how long bursts work.
I still just see the spear and the revolver, unless there's a way to reload it.
I'm gonna hold on. It's there, so maybe close your sheet and reopen it again, and if not, then refresh your Foundry.
Yeah, I'll just refresh Foundry.
All right.
Thank you.
Now just imagine this was Tabletop Simulator. All right. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody is Really? Did you guys hear that?
Sounded like your dog was whining.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's finish resolving your round. I'm going to run and let this dog out because that's the only time she bugs me like this is when she's got to go and got to go now. So I will be right back, and you guys go ahead and resolve the rest of the round. And if you need any judgment calls, let me tell you what, I'll jump on the Discord on my phone while I run down and let her out, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. Well, who hasn't gone was we totally missed the priest.
Really? What was he going to do?
He was going to bless us.
Oh, no. I rolled.
No, it missed.
Failed.
Well, two.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. All right. I missed
Does that
that.
end
All
the
right.
round? Is that everybody?
Yeah.
That is everybody. All right. Then before I take her, then let's go to the next round. I know. Just hold it. All right. So next round, this is heroes go first but are fatigued. Everyone mark 2 shock.
And can I remove my vulnerability status?
Yes, that allows.
Same here. My stymied and vulnerability.
Yeah. That only goes to the end of the next person of the sharks round, so it's fine. All right, so you may do that, and then step A has been. Oh, I forgot. We're on step B now. And so A, B, and C are the approved actions. So you could try to do B and C at the same time. If you wanted to multi-action. Intimidate and maneuver are...
What's D again?
What?
What's D again?
Navigate to the shore.
Yeah.
All right.
Navigate to the shore.
What's D? Can you remind me about what D is?
Get the
Docking.
boat actually docking or getting it run up on the ground or something.
It docks
so
the
that you
boat.
can
All
get
right.
off, right? Navigating is like getting the boat to go, just like make it go. Starting it's one thing, but making it go and go the right direction and fast enough and all that kind of stuff would be that. That's the C step. Okay, I'll be right back.
Because I played that drama card, didn't the drama card say any action is approved? Therefore, I should have been able to draw a card, right?
I know the previous one was still, it was like taunt and intimidate. But the drama card is simply like a possibility. It doesn't really do more than that. So I don't think so. Yeah.
What was your question?
Play this card as, but you may spend it in addition to. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. And what was it? Idea. Is it idea? Oh, okay. Idea is make the approved action of the drama deck any. Okay.
All right. So for this round,
I knew I had seen any somewhere. That's fine. Okay.
All right. So for this round, I think did everybody take the 2 shock?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. So I think what we should do is the same. Pretty much, Doc. You should use your water vehicles, your mines to get the boat started again.
With the advice of the captain.
Yeah, and yes, that's perfect, right? So you should get some bonus for that. But I think first the priest should try to bless us again, so that everybody gets some bonus. And then Xanu should try his intimidation again for the Mosasaurus to. So whenever you have like those types of interaction skills, those are the players that should go first. And
maybe a bonus to dexterity would be best in this case.
What's that? Water vehicles with dexterity.
Yeah, just to maneuver the boat to the shore for step C, because I'm good on step B, or at least I should be. But however, my dexterity is still 8.
Oh, you know what? My dexterity is 11, so I should be able. I should do this then. Okay. This is my mistake on my character sheet. I set water vehicles to mines because I did that when trying to fix it. Mm-hmm. But I think as far as getting the boat started, no, that's still mined. Yeah.
However, maneuvering the boat might be dexterity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right. now that you've just figured out there's really nothing wrong with it, it just had this little vacuum seal issue. Your ability to start this boat is going to be a reality skill.
Oh no.
All right, so reality. Yeah, I'm pretty low with that. I've only got an 8 in reality.
I only have a 0.1 add to it.
Oh no, you'd add 1 add. It should be 1. Not 0.1.
Yeah, I think that 0.1 was before we before we became Storm Knights.
All right, I have a 9. I have a 9 in reality.
That's good.
Okay. That's good.
How about the Jerry? What do you have? And Kurt, what's your character's reality?
I have an 8, but 0.2. Is that supposed to be a 0.2?
No, it should be a 1.
No, it should be 2.
2, okay.
0.2 turns to 2. Okay.
And that's just so I could mark that down. Yeah.
Okay. 0.1 would have been a 1 and 0.2 2. Okay.
Correct. I just put a 0 point in front of the numbers.
Okay.
What about the priest?
Okay.
What's the priest's reality?
Father has a reality skill of 12.
Then he should do it and forget about the bless. So I think the order of action should be Xanu should go first to intimidate the Mosasaurus. If that's what he's going to do, that's your choice, Jim. Because it's an approved action, and I think that this keeps us going.
Yeah.
And then I think the next step is the priest can attempt to start. The most important thing we all have to do now is get through the dramatic skill resolution. But we got to get step B done. We could also do step B and C at the same time. And maybe that's actually the best thing for us to do because we only have 3 rounds left. So I would say that's what the priest should attempt.
We have 2 rounds left because it's round 4 right now.
Is it round 4? Yeah, I guess so. So we have to do that. We have to do this. This is a multi-action, and I think the rest of us should support. Yeah. So that's. Yeah, so the 3 of us are going to support the priest with getting this up again. And he's going to do step. Yeah, he's going to do step B and C together. B is reality, C is going to be water vehicles with dexterity.
Should I have 2 cards in my pool?
Oh, wait. We could do, one of us does, so the priest does step B, and then the others can do step C in the same round. So,
shouldn't I have 2 cards in my pools right now?
Did you play a card?
You played them.
No. I just think I should have 2.
Maybe if you didn't add in one of the previous rounds.
Probably. That's probably it. I'm gonna add supporters so that I can support Mr. Father Man.
Okay, so yeah, let's do. Xanu would go first.
Okay.
Then the priest.
And even with a hero card, failed.
Okay.
I just don't think I want to throw all in with the drama card too. So I don't think Intimidate is going to be that big a deal. But then again, well, I guess we'll see when the villain's turn comes around.
All right. Then in that case, I think who wants to support? I think somebody should support the priest. It's not going to be multi-action. Yeah, let the priest go, and then maybe. Well,
I was going to say because what we're at now is starting the boat, right? So that's the mine.
Yeah.
So I'll support for the start, and whoever's going to drive, somebody needs to support the driver.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be a dropper because my dexterity is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dex is not. My dex is not good.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I went ahead and had Xanu play his other card too because that way he'll get to draw a card if he succeeds. And he actually obtained a good success, and so he puts the Mosasaurus at very stymied. That way it'll be -4 to any attack it tries to make.
Yeah.
It tries to take. So
good job, Xanu.
He's riled it up a little bit, so even if it wants to do something, it's going to be poor at doing it. Okay. So with that, then let's
priest.
Do the priest. All right. So he's going to do a bless. Is that right?
No. He's going to focus on. He's just going to use reality and get past step B. With how many people support? So
1.
Doc. Okay, 1. So he gets a +1 for 1 person's support.
And my supporter card, which I'll be playing. That's +4.
You can play it if you need it.
I was going to say we might need that to get the. Yeah.
It turns out because this is no longer something that the captain knows how to do. She's not very much help. She's having a hard time. Right. Boat. So she's not going to be a very good sport, but you guys are. And so he actually gets the motor started. Okay, it's good.
Okay, so
yeah, we do have a minor problem.
There's a minor?
Isabel's in a rowboat.
Yep.
So if you can make your proper navigation, Isabel may be able to swim back over and catch on, right?
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope we do that and don't run her over.
All right.
Or
so I got to move to the cabin do step C.
Okay.
So, yeah, whoever's going to support me with that.
If you need it, I got it.
Yeah. All right. Then let me go ahead and roll. So it's water vehicles using dexterity.
Yep.
What's the difficulty number?
10.
All right. Then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this.
That's a standard.
Would a +3 give him a good success?
I don't think you need to do that. It's just a dramatic skill resolution.
That's fair.
I don't think you have a bonus. Anything.
3 just get. Yeah, three wouldn't help to bring it to a good success, but it should be enough.
Now you've completed C, so now we got to see what happens this next round.
Please let us play D.
And it goes, and the boat begins to move. All right.
So Isabel and Professor still need to go.
Possible setback. Good God.
It's now a possible setback.
What does that mean?
That means, so with a possible setback, that means that you have to do D successfully, or you can undo C as well.
Oh no.
So with a possible setback, you still get all the steps, but you must succeed at step D this turn, or you lose C. In which case, we're running at the edge of the time is of the essence anyway.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You just skipped to the next round, but both Isabel and the professor didn't get to go. Last round.
I was supporting.
Oh, you were supporting? Okay, the roll wasn't the bonus wasn't added to anybody's die. I noticed.
Okay.
And then Isabel, what is Isabel doing?
Actually, I added a +1 to the reality test.
Okay, all right, cool. Then then Professor is handled. Then I think it's
It looks like it didn't show it, but I did add a +1 on his roll sheet, so I guess I didn't add it right. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just need to, maybe I put because I put +1 and it should have been just the number 1. I don't know. Okay. All right, so I guess we'll try it again next time and see what happens. Actually, let's just. I want to make sure I know how to do this. All right, so with his reality skill, let's just repeat the whole thing. I did a +1. Let's see if it adds it.
Yeah, it did. It added it. You can see the modifier there.
Yes. Okay. So I must have just typoed when I added +1. So okay.
All right, but then what was Isabel's action? Was that just getting on the boat?
You need to make another athletics swimming check. So basically, you're going to do your strength test, to swim back to the boat. The bad news for you is there isn't any real place at the front of the boat for you to get back on. So the way to get on is at the end of the boat. But you need to get to the boat because it's starting to move.
Perhaps during the time you're getting to the boat will have moved enough so that you're already swimming to the back of it, basically.
All right, so athletics check.
Yeah, do a strength test. Standard DN. Kurt?
Okay, sure. Let's try it.
You needed to make a 10, and you rolled an 8.
Want a supporter card?
Sure.
So supporter doesn't require trade, so that's perfect.
I'm gonna play my supporter card. You can have +3.
That's a +3, so hit the +3 card button in the chat.
It's now a standard success. Hooray!
Okay.
Cool.
So you are along the edge of the boat. Now all you have to do is get in as it goes by. You are, up along the front of the boat. And
you are mighty close to the Mosasaurus.
Yeah, it'll have moved down. That's its next move. Is it's going to try to bump the boat. You're moving past it, so it's going to try to hit the boat or reach up and bite on the boat or something like that. So it's at -4 to do so.
Don't take off the rudder like the Morcas did.
I believe that I can just do a bite and it'll probably come up with. Could come up with. Oh, there it is. Stymied -4. Target size 4. Oh, I thought that was a 20. Whew. All right. So you just hear this as the boat goes right along the teeth as it tries to bite down, and it's like caught on something, or because it was just messing around with the caveman on the second floor up there. It didn't quite get to close its jaws. He distracted it, and that worked. All right. So now we're on this round. So this round, possible setback. Look out. Oh, that's an appropriate picture. We are dramatic, so villains are going to go first, and then heroes are confused. That's not good.
Which means we can't play cards this round.
Oh no.
Okay. So the Mosasaur is going to come back around and try to hit the boat again and knock somebody off. Isabel, this may cause you to miss. You're going to have to make a check as well because the boat is going to be moving a little bit, and it may put you at a disadvantage to grabbing onto the ladders and climbing up.
Makes sense.
So the others that will be affected are Xanu, the professor, and the priest. So we're going to make a maneuver attack. So let me run that. Maneuver. The good news is that it's still stymied. So that is a standard success, which means that you are at risk of being just vulnerable. Let's see what your... So he just rolled a total of 10. So how does that compare with your maneuver?
I have an 8.
Okay, so you will be vulnerable.
At least not stymied.
Correct.
Yeah, it's better because it doesn't affect your rolls if you're vulnerable.
Right. So let's see. Professor, how are you?
What was the...
It's a 10. So you're looking at your maneuver.
Which
skill.
is a 7.
All right, so
if
that...
I remember correctly.
All right. So then that is... and so is the father. So that's only still just one level of stymied, or vulnerable. All right, so you can remember that. If you mark the status of your token, it'll add it into your rolls automatically. But it won't matter because you're not going to make any rolls with that. And you have to then remember to take it off anyway. Okay, so... all right, so step D needs to be accomplished.
Okay, so
Dylan is done. It's your turn.
I think what we should do is, I can use my water vehicles. Again, my dexterity is pretty high from playing hockey.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
But I think the round should be. I think Xanu can make his move of whatever he's doing. I'd like if the priest would come and also try to bless us again while we're in the room. That would be great if possible. And then the rest. I don't.
Well, we got to try to get Isabel back on the boat.
Yeah. So
I'll help support that.
Yep. Perfect. So maybe we start with Zanu, then go to Professor to get, to the Professor to get. Actually, the priest should go. Professor, you should move over there, so that you can be within the radius of the priest. The priest will come towards the cabin and then try to bless everybody.
Okay. And so he will begin his prayer. He kind of goes to the center of the boat because it's as far as he can get. He can't get into the cabin, but he has a good range. So everyone within, I think it was. Let me look real quick at his bless. 5-meter radius. So that's pretty good. 15 feet or so. So that's pretty good radius, 30 feet across. All right, so for 3 rounds, we might be able to boost your dexterity, right?
Yeah, I need the dexterity for the
dexterity to make you. So he's going to cast bless. Dear Lord of hosts, grant us the Godspeed on our way to the shore and the safety of dry land. Oh, almost was a 20 again. All right, so that's a standard success. So you're going to get a +1 to your dexterity.
Okay.
Would the good professor also get that?
Everybody in that circle. Who drew?
I remember someone mentioning that the good professor should move within the radius.
Yeah, but how can I do that and be where I need to be to get Isabel?
Yeah,
that's fair.
Nope.
I actually drew the circle. I didn't realize it would stay.
No, that's just fine. It'll stay until you remove it, which is the same way you drew it. You use that same thing, but you just click on the little starburst at the center and just hit delete key on your keyboard.
Oh,
and then remove it. There you go. Okay, so go ahead.
I think I should go last. To make so I think the
okay, so
Professor, you should go.
Reyes, you can make a dexterity. Did you? By the way, what was your maneuver? Did you take a maneuver? Did you get vulnerable?
Who? Well, Reyes wasn't on the boat.
I know, but she's subject. The boat got shook.
Okay, so I should make a maneuver and roll to try to avoid getting.
You don't have to make a roll. We just look at what your maneuver is.
And I'm pretty sure it was a 10. We're comparing it to a 10.
You're fine. Yep. So I want you to make a dexterity test.
Okay.
To grab the ladder as it starts to go by.
All right, and standard DN or higher?
No, standard. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Ah, critical!
Oh! Let's go.
All right, 22. Good.
So yeah, catch it like action movie hero kind of way.
Tom Cruise.
Can't run up.
Yep. And you start to climb up. The professor is there to help you. Not much help, but yes, he's there. But he was there. It's the thought that counts, right, Professor?
Yes.
All right, so I think that's everybody. No, Wade and Doc, are you?
Yeah.
You need to go now.
All right, so
I'm pretty sure I'm supporting Wade.
Okay.
In trying to get this boat to the shore, because we're doing step D now, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out the controls. I think this is it. I think you have to do that. And then just push this.
And if we fail, it's a possible setback?
Correct, which means you stall the boat and the engine stops. You have to go back.
Well, that's if we fail, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but then you'll have a Mosasaurus climbing up on your boat, basically, to eat the people on the back, which would be Reyes and the professor.
So I'm taking the +1 for the bless. I'm taking another +1 for the support, and I'm going to roll like that.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. And I still got possibilities, even though I can't use a card, so we're not doomed if I fail.
Yep.
Ooh, that was close. That was so close to a 2.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
That's a good success.
So you have successfully hit the motor and you run the thing up on the ground. And
yeah.
So you actually just run the boat up on the. You're not trying to dock it. You're just trying to get on the dry land.
And away from.
Game on, I scream.
That's right. Okay, so this now ends the act. We have completed the third scene of Act 1. It was a dramatic scene. Good job. A little more intense. A little more statuses came up that were not helpful. And a dramatic skill resolution. So, had a lot going on. And do you think the planning of your sides, doing the meta for your side helped a lot?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were involved? Or was it like, All right, good. Then I think that works well for online as well. So we're going to keep doing that. All right. So you have made it to shore, and you all climb down off the boat that's halfway up the overgrowth. There's just large fronded plants that didn't used to be there, and trees and stuff that just kind of grew. This was kind of an industrial area, and that's where you have pulled up. So you are now on dry land. This now marks the end of the act. So you get to, first off,
refill possibilities.
Bring all of the pool back up into your hand. Bring all of your pool back up in your hand, and draw down to, or not draw down, but discard down to 4 cards if you have more than 4. I don't think anyone does.
I had 3. Do I draw 1?
In just a minute. So you go down to 4. Everyone, has that been done?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next thing is for you to, I wonder if I can, hold on a second. I haven't tried this yet. There is a Torg button that says hands. No. All right. So I was hoping I could look at everyone's hand all at once, but it doesn't let me do that. All right. So now you may discard 1 card of your choice if you choose, and then draw back up to 4. And then I have a button that will refresh everyone's possibilities. Let's see if it works.
Yep.
It worked.
Yippee!
All right, so we discard a card and then draw 1.
You go down to 4, and then you're allowed to discard 1 card. So if you're already at 3 or 2 or 1, you don't want that 1 anymore, you can discard it, then draw 4. So it allows you to get rid of a card you don't want. And then...
Well, I'm good.
All right. Also, mark on your sheet.
Wait, sorry. Because of my Prodigy perk, I'm adding 1 more.
Oh, good. Okay, please do. Yep.
Okay.
I didn't count that. It's just a button that puts everything at 3. All right. Everyone refresh their possibilities, and you may discard and draw. Not may. You must discard your Cosm card if you still have it. And then draw a new Cosm card.
A living land one, right?
A living land Cosm card. Oh, sorry. End of act is a new hand of destiny cards. So if you want, you can keep the 1 card or whatever that you drew, but otherwise discard your entire destiny hand and draw 4 cards.
Ooh. I got a good Cosm card.
On your character sheet, if we were continuing on, which we might make use of how to spend experience, mark 5 experience points. for the completion of this act. So there may be an opportunity before we finish the Living Land at day 1 for you to spend experience to buy another perk or something like that. So that'll be a good rule.
Could they also be spent on ads?
Yep, absolutely. Ads, perk, etc.
How much does a perk cost, or does it depend on the perk?
It depends on the perk and so it has a perk cost, and then how many perks you have. I think the perk has a cost, but it might also be how many perks you already have. Like the third perk you get costs this much more, 3 times as much, that sort of thing. So perks are expensive, but your ads you have to buy the next ad. So if you want to go from 2 ads to 3 ads, it costs 3 experience points to do that. 3 ads to 4, it's 4 experience points.
And I think it's the same for attributes, right? So you go from 6 to 7, it would be 7 XP.
I think attributes, we'll look that up. We're not quite there yet, but it's, I don't think attributes, I think they're more. I think they have a multiplier.
I hope so. Actually, that's the only thing I ever, in the old game, that's the only thing I ever changed, was from the rule book to home rule, was to make it more difficult to increase your attributes, because I thought it was too easy.
So there's an advancement here at the bottom. Character advancement.
So the session's basically over now?
Normally, you would try, the GM would try to end a session at an act. But I thought it would be interesting to just begin scene 1 because it's super interesting.
All right.
But do you want to wait for the other? We are missing 2 players.
Oh, we are missing.
Yeah, we are right.
So we can wait. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. You're welcome to move on to other things. I'm gonna look up the experience point rules for how to advance.
I'm gonna listen to the experience points rules.
So characters.
So it's double the new value for attributes. So if you go from strength 6 to 7, that costs 14. See, that's reasonable. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Okay, skills. Raising a skill costs a number of XP equal to the new level. So raising energy weapons from 3 to 4 costs 4. From 4 to 5 costs 5. It says the limit for any skill add is +5 unless the character has the master perk. Perks. Gaining your first new perk costs 5 XP. Each new perk beyond that costs 2 more points than the last. So a second new perk costs 7 XP, a third 9 XP, a fourth 11 XP, and so on. When your character reaches 50 XP, they become beta clearance, which is kind of a way of saying the next level. Probably more like a tier of playing, since there's no levels in this game. But it's not like going from 1st to 2nd level. It'd be more like going from 1st to 10th level to be the next tier in D&D. So clearance levels are basically just simply, they unlock other things in the game, like this particular equipment is only for beta clearance characters, or this villain should only be used with beta characters. It's a way of saying experienced players and experienced characters should be able to handle this, right? But alphas should. Right now you're alpha players. So the other thing is that I just kind of lost what I was going to say. It had to do with experience levels. Oh yes, when your Storm Knight dies, which is pretty dramatic in and of itself. It's not that common, but when it happens, like you martyr him, or he really just ends up dying, then your new Storm Knight joins the team with the same number of experience points as the rest of the group. So your new Storm Knight will come on at the same basic power level as all the other characters in the group. Everyone stays the same.
That's nice.
So you make your character just like you were starting out from scratch, which there's rules for what you do and how you do it. And then you just add the amount of experience points everyone else has and buy things for your character with that. There's a lot of flexibility in experience points as well. So for instance, there may be some things where you may lose an attribute point, and so then you fall below the prerequisite for a perk, so you lose the perk as well. And then you just get back those points from the perk. You can spend it to buy a different perk, or you can hang on to those experience points to see if you can get your attribute back up, and then you can buy that perk back again. That sort of thing. Anyway, interesting stuff for character advancement we may get to. So there's 2 more acts before this is all over. So that's basically how experience points go. All right. Then I think we will go from there. Sorry if I created confusion. I believe I did about playing tonight. We will play next week as well. I'll be back from California and still on vacation, winding down and probably easing my sunburn. But we will play next Thursday night, where we begin Act 2, which is called Manhattan.
Cool. All right, well,
Cool.
I may see you guys next week. I might not. Just depends on my other game, but hoping to.
Cool deal, man. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, you too. Take care. Enjoy your vacation. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye now.